I'm going to start with sea lions. The other night, I heard a barking sound. Oh, not the neighbor's dog. I recognized it as sea lions barking. So I dropped what I was doing and walked down the path to the beach. And right at the end of the path, right before my eyes, I saw this swirling motion in the ocean right there. And then some black, fins coming up and diving, and then that sort of shovelly snout that sea lions have. And what a transfixing sight. The water bubbles and boils, and then you know that they're going to surface, having caught some fish, and dive down again. And yes, there was always this circular motion, and then this movement, this buildup of the water just before one of these big, enormous creatures came. You saw them come to the surface, swimming off it. The energy and the motion, the fluidity, the sort of the ballet of these rather cumbersome creatures just kept me enthralled. The quality of the sea lions that really spoke to me was this fluidity, this ever-changing, this being in the water and the movement. And I like to think of my being in those same ways, that when I look into myself, I don't always know what I'm going to see. And I'm not set in stone. I don't have to dig down and get to the bottom of things in order to change things about my life. I don't have to hack away and, work at this thing, my life, that seems so hard, because that's not the nature. The nature of my being is fluid and transformative and ever-changing. That's my first idea, the idea about my nature, as I gain more understanding from watching the sea lions. Now I want to tie into that another idea, a second concept. And this one is quite well known. It's the concept of synchronicity. Now, this idea was developed by Carl Jung. I believe he coined the word from a Greek word, sync, meaning together, and chronos, meaning time. So it's things happening at the same time. It's the universe acting on our behalf, without any causal agency. The classic example from Jung himself goes as follows. He was in a therapy session with a patient who, in a dream, had seen a scarab beetle. So a scarab beetle is a symbol of ancient Egyptian symbol of rebirth, death and rebirth. At that very instant that this patient was recounting this dream, Jung heard a tapping on his window, and he went to the window, opened it up. There was a scarab beetle, flew in the window, it flew around the room. And this action, this simultaneous occurrence, two things happening simultaneously, convinced him that there was some sort of link between the inner and the outer worlds. And this became a principle of analytical psychology. We can use this principle as in our transformative process, in our personal growth. Now, why I think the two ideas that our natures are very fluid and expansive and ever-changing, is so compatible with this idea of synchronicity, is that it's easier to conceive that our inner world and our outer world is connected, and to notice that the universe is acting on our behalf. We have that, rather than having to, have this plan where we're going to, analyze everything and get to the bottom of everything and sort everything out, and that we have this work to do that could be somewhat laborious. We can pay attention and start to notice when there are signs and events happening that will confirm to us our development, our path. Our good timing is an example. When, or thinking about a person, of course, that we'd like to meet, and then they call us on the phone, and we know that this is going to be a beneficial event for us. There are so many things that happen in our everyday world that we don't pay attention to, that we don't notice, how that we're being helped, we're being guided in a happy way of life, in a way of feeling, enjoyment, connection. So that sense of connection between the inner and outer world, which is at the essence of the idea of synchronicity, is also easier to conceive of. It's easy to conceive of when we think of ourselves, playing in the ocean, swimming around, having that movement. When we can free ourselves from this, this more solid, concrete version of our past that can drag us down and keep pulling us away. Instead, we can just sense that freedom and respond to these events that are tugging us and pulling us forward into that path of unfolding, the unfolding of our psyche.